Hi everyone, it's Donna from Spaceman Papercrafts and I'm back with another tutorial today. This one is inspired by a new die release from Lawn Fawn. I love Lawn Fawn, and if I could afford to buy every new release, I would. But this particular die creates a box inside a card, and I really love the look of it. And as I say, I just obviously at this point in time cannot afford to get it, so I thought I would try and create one of my own. It's going to be nothing like Lawn Fawn's. I mean, Lawn Fawn's just brilliant, but it will do the job until I can afford to buy the die. Okay, so this is it basically. This is just a standard A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's quite plain on the front, but then when you open it up on the inside, you have your little box, and it's decorated all the way around, and you can add pop-ups to the centre as well. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So I've already prepped my card base. Again, this is an A2 card base, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm creating a Halloween card this time. And I've just covered the front with this brick style paper, and then I've just decorated the inside, because when I did the prototype for this one, I noticed that the inside was quite plain, so I thought I'd put pattern paper on this one. So that's what I've done to the card base, so that's ready to go. Now the box portion, you need a piece of cardstock that is 8 1/2 by 3 1/2. Okay, and on the 8 1/2 inch side, you're going to score at 2, 4, 6 and 8. Then you're going to rotate it. Now if you want a fold at the top of your box, you probably can't see mine because I've covered it, but originally I had a little flaps on the top of my box. If you want those, you do a score line at 1/2 inch. If you don't and you just want to make the box, do your score line at 1 1/2. But I'm doing both, so I've got my flap, which is 1/2 inch, and then to make my box I've got my 1 1/2 inch score line. Actually no, it's not, it's 1 3/4. Sorry, I did change it, but I didn't write it in my book. It's 1 3/4. Okay, so then you've got all that scored. Then you're going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. So we're going to do that. This is going to be the outside of my box. And this one. Now if this is going to be the outside, I want my flap to come backwards here, because this is going to be the little top of the box. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my scissors. I'm going to snip this little corner square off. And then I'm going to keep this little tab here, and I'm going to cut the triangle, the rectangle, sorry, off the bottom. So this is the tab for sealing the box. Okay, so what we now want to do is, if I show you on my template, this is what we need it to look like. Okay, so what we need to do is on the first and second squares on the left hand side, we're just going to take our ruler and a pencil, and we're just going to mark diagonally from the first score line down to the bottom, and again on the other side to create this triangular section. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut away this piece, and these two sections there. Okay, so I'm just going to do that with my scissors now. And then just cut the other piece away. And then we're going to cut away the 2 bottom squares. There we go. So now I know it looks a little bit odd, but trust me, it'll work out absolutely fine. Okay, so we need to join our box together. Oh, actually, before we do that, we're going to snip our little top. Now, you can leave it like this if you want to, or you could, I think I'm going to leave it like this. You could snip each one individually and you could round the corners, but I think I'm actually going to leave it like this. So I just want to get a little bit of glue, and I just want to stick that down so it's not sort of flapping around everywhere. Just rub that in a little bit. I'm just going to get my bone folder and just give that a good press down. Okay. And now what we need is some strong tape or adhesive on this side. So I'm going to use some red line tape. I've actually run out of score tape, which is annoying because I would have just used score tape. Or actually I've got a thicker red line tape here that I was previously using for something else. So I'll just use some of that. And I'm just going to put a couple of pieces on there. Like that. And then I'm just going to peel it off. She says, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it over and then just fold that piece to meet there. And then we have our box. Okay, now to get it to stick to the inside of our card, we have to do a little bit of gluing. So let me get the front of my card. So bring your card base in. Now where you've got these 2 flaps here, okay, your score line for the centre of your card needs to be in there, otherwise this won't fold. Okay, so if you line up your score line, and then what will happen is your box will then fold. Okay, so I'm going to use wet glue. This art glitter glue is really good, it's very strong. And I'm just going to pop some glue on the 2 triangular pieces. Now try and line this up if I can. And fold that over. And then there is your little box in a card. So you give it a good press down and it opens up lovely. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate mine. So I've got some I'm going to do some pop-ups in the centre. So I've die cut and cut out lots of pumpkins, and also some other characters here. So we've got a little boy dressed up as a dinosaur, pumpkin, a little mummy, and then we've got a little witch, and I just thought I'd put one on each of those. But what I want to do is I want to have pumpkins popped up. So I've got some acetate, some pieces of acetate, and I need to work out a panel, a size, to get a bar across there. So I'm going to get my ruler. So I'm showing you how I'm doing this, because if you wanted to make it a different size, it is really simple. So let's move those over there. So if I got a piece that was, see, that's measuring at 2.5, and I want a 1/2 inch scored piece at each end. So I'd need a piece that is 3.5 by, I'd say 1 inch should be enough. So I'm going to get another scrap of cardstock and cut a piece that is 3.5 by 1. Okay, you could add more if you wanted to. So I'm just going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. Get my little scoreboard out and just score at 1/2 inch on both sides. And then I just want to check that that's going to fit. Yep, so that's going to fit in there, and then I'm going to close the card and it will give us our fold in the middle, so we'll know where that's going to be. So I'm going to make sure that we've got and then I'm going to fold that over, and that will then crease our little piece in the middle. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding our little pumpkin. So I'm just going to be cutting up some very thin strips of acetate. Okay, so that's the pumpkins done. I had to do it off camera. I was getting increasingly frustrated with the little plastic bits of the glue dots. So yeah, so I've got my little characters, and I think what I'm going to do is just put 2 on the one side rather than have something on. Yeah, I'll just put 2 characters on each side. So I'll have the mummy and the witch, I think. No, I'll have the witch on that side. I think I'll have the little one dressed as a dinosaur on this side. That's cute. And then I'll put the little boy as a pumpkin. Here, and the witch over there. I think I might move that pumpkin actually. Maybe put it behind instead. I added another inside piece, exactly the same as the first one I did. So let's close this up, make sure nothing sticks out. That is super cute, I think. We could have even done the characters coming out in the centre, but I like that with the pumpkin. Okay, now to finish off the front, I've already stamped and cut out my banner piece to go on the front. I've embossed it in white and I've cut this with scissors, and then I've got this little spider web that I'm just going to attach up there. So I'm just going to add some little dabs of glue. Just to make sure that this sticks really well. And this art glitter glue is great because it dries clear, so any bits that come out as I stick it down will be fine. And then I've got a little banner to go across here, so I'll just get some glue on that one. And then I've got a little girl dressed as a unicorn, and she's got her little Halloween treat basket there, so I'm going to stick her on top of the where the sentiment is. And then give her her little pail there. And that's it. That is our really cute little box in a card. So there's the front and there's our inside. We're having a little Halloween party. So I'd love to see if you could recreate this. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. I'm always amazed with what everyone comes up with. If you would like to share anything that you make, doesn't have to be this, could be anything, please go to my Facebook page, which is Little Spaceman Paper Crafts Show and Tell. I'll leave the link for that in the description bar below. Also, I'll leave the link for my email address should you need it for any reason. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this. I did. I really did. And I hope you did too. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.